past couple of days because of some comments that he's had about how the AEW partnership isn't benefiting Impact Wrestling at all, or at least he doesn't think it's doing any good for the company. I'm going to read his quote directly so that we all know exactly what we're talking about. This is from his podcast. I don't know what Impact is thinking right now. Maybe they're thinking about the rub. It's a cool moment for AEW. It's not a cool moment for Impact Wrestling unless I own both companies and I was working the fans at the same time with both of my companies. For Rich Swann to go out and lose the title to Kenny Omega, it does absolutely nothing in my opinion. Bottom line, of course for Impact is what he means, right? Bottom line, if the champion gets beat, which is supposed to be your franchise player, your number one guy, and then he goes out and gets beat, I could be wrong, but for me, if it was my company, something like that wouldn't have gone down. That's just me. Okay. To me, this is, look, Booker T works for WWE. We expect some kind of bias. We've seen, though, on his podcast in the past that he's able to, diverge slightly from some of the more popular WWE opinions, or maybe what the company line, the company PR speak would be. He's deviated slightly. So really, there's no surprise to me right here. But this is all adding on top of a conversation that is bigger than just this part here that's been going around wrestling podcasts and message boards and, dare I say, Twitter. Of course I dare say Twitter. That Kenny Omega is not a draw, that Impact is not benefiting from anything that AEW is doing, and it could not be more wrong as far as a statement goes. You guys know I'm not a ratings dude. I don't like to sit down and look at the spreadsheets. I don't like to analyze the numbers and go into the quarter hours and say, this wrestler here in quarter hour did the 1849, the 46%. There are people out there who do it much better than I do, but with a much less entertaining accent. The Wrestling Observer, just a couple of days ago, from when I'm recording this, said that the last two Impact pay-per-views were among the top 3 the company has done since leaving Spike TV years ago. And it's weird when you hear opinions, because this is what they are, and everyone is entitled to their opinion, of course. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, but as far as Booker coming out and saying that kind of stuff when there are facts, hard data to support this, it's really disingenuous. I got most of my analysis here off of WrestleNomics, Brandon Thurston, of course, and I was listening to the Voices of Podcast. It might as well be called that. Voices of Wrestling podcast as well, where Joe Lanza also offers his impassioned analysis of ratings week after week. So, I'm not coming up with anything new here. Impact Wrestling, as far as their ratings go, drew 33% more in 18 to 49 viewers. 33% over the past 13 weeks, year over year. That is compared to 2020. Impact is up 52% in 18 to 49 viewers. The only other wrestling show that is up year to year is Dynamite. How much did Dynamite grow? Did it grow 72%? Did it grow 56%? I mean, Dynamite grew 5% year over year in the same 13-week period, comparatively. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, they're all down. Impact has been up every month since the beginning of 2021. Every month. Jan, Feb, Mar, Apero. And in April, again, year over year, compared to April 2020, year over year, in April 2021, compared to April 2020 has had a 136% boost in numbers. That is wild. And yes, and as Joe Lanza pointed out when he was doing his analysis, because people are quick to say, oh, well, April, those were COVID numbers. Yeah, but everyone was dealing with COVID numbers. Everyone was dealing with COVID numbers. And nonetheless, 136% growth year over year. And I also heard the arguments where people are saying about the numbers. They say, well, Impact just has to get 30,000 viewers and they're like up 50%, whatever. Yeah, yes. But then again, what's your point? Is your point they're not successful until they get 1 million viewers? Okay. You have to stop comparing like Raw and SmackDown numbers to what Impact is doing, because they are on a TV station that does not have the same reach as USA or a goddamn network. Even if the numbers, like the hard raw data is like, well, it's only 30,000 people that they gain. For them, it equivalates to 136% growth. That is proof that it's working, because you're drawing new people onto your product. There's new eyeballs going there. And why are there new eyeballs on the Impact product these days? Because of AEW. It's because of Kenny Omega. And it still translates into the pay-per-views as well. Like the Observer mentioned, Hard to Kill, Rebellion, they were among the top three the top three that the company's ever put on since leaving Spike. Hard to Kill, second best pay-per-view that Impact put on since they left Spike TV. Rebellion did 9 times the buys that Bound for Glory did. But yet Booker T thinks that it's not good for the company. I wouldn't let my champ lose like that. There's, objectively speaking, more people watching Impact now than there has been before AEW, before Kenny Omega moved in and they started doing this angle, which dates back to January. I can guarantee you that there is talent that is being discovered by the AEW faithful. I'm convinced that they are discovering new people. How could you not see it? Wow, this Trey Miguel guy's fantastic. Look at Josh Alexander, he's fucking amazing. And then you're like, Deonna Purrazzo, look at her. There are so many people discovering new wrestlers on Impact that the conversation is even switching to, okay, now, when are the women's divisions gonna start synergizing? When are we gonna get like Deonna versus Chris Statlander, for instance? Me being who I am, that's something that I've been clamoring for from the get-go, but now people are sort of leading into it and I'm like, okay, this is cool. Fine, we did the tag teams, we're doing Kenny, why not the women now? And that's a sign that people are interested and that they will continue to be interested if this partnership continues to synergize like they're doing. I'm sorry for the corporate speak today. And I cannot but imagine that Booker T is going to absolutely hate Kenny Omega and Andrade Cien Almas for the AAA Mega Championship at Triple Mania, right? My question though is, like, even outside of Booker T working for WWE, what's his thing here? Outside of just pure punditry, I guess. Booker T has no irons in the fire here. Why would he be pushing this narrative? Because the idea is not that Booker T is not entitled to have his opinion. The idea is that there is so much data out there to support the opposite. That I don't know what Booker T's angle here, unless he's just towing the company line with WWE and being like, well, no. And talking to the WWE faithful and making sure that, their hardcore stay hardcore to them. And it's like, what's happening elsewhere is of no interest to you. We've got all your wrestling needs covered, which is fair. This is pro wrestling. This is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to promote your brand. You're supposed to say, well, our brand is best. The others, that's fine. I'm completely okay with it, but it's just staggering. And also, there's always something a little intelligence insulting here when the data is there, but you support something that just doesn't connect and makes no sense. At some point, it's just bad faith.